Hello, welcome to Witness. I'm Raggy Omar. No city on earth is a center for so much global power and influence as Washington, D.C., capital of the United States. Not only is it home to the US President, the Congress, and the Supreme Court, but it's also the headquarters of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Any nation, small or powerful, who wants to influence international policy must have an embassy in the city. That's the Washington we know. But there is a very different Washington the rest of the world rarely sees. It has some of the most impoverished inner-city areas in America. Washington has more than 40,000 lawyers, but there are double that number, 80,000 people living in poverty. My colleague Josh Rushing, who used to be in the US Marines, now lives in the city, working from Al Jazeera's Washington bureau. And he set out to discover the often unheard stories of the people who live in the other Washington.
It's Sunday morning at the Temple of Praise Church.
When it hits your heart, you know, your heart is the biggest thing on you. When it hits your heart, then you just go crazy, you black out, you know.
Kevin Gonzalez is 17 years old. He's also a new father and homeless. This is one of the few places he can go to get off the streets of one of the toughest cities in America, Washington, D.C.
I've been homeless for like 11 years. Don't got my mother. I never met my father. I only got my daughter right here and my baby mother. You know what I'm saying? This is all I got right here. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm gonna keep praying for.
Kevin's story is in many ways Washington's story. It's a story of struggle between neglect and survival, desperation and hope.
This is us.
Get your big head in here.
You good?
He shot this footage with a camera we gave him to capture his more personal moments. Because we couldn't take our cameras everywhere Kevin's life would lead us. Washington, D.C., a city of power and privilege, capital of the United States.
Washington's a city of lawyers. It has 42,000 of them. That's more per capita than any other city in the United States. But for every one lawyer, there are two people who live in poverty.
Poverty and a hard life are all Kevin has ever known. He's never met his father, and his mother threw him out of her house to make room for a new boyfriend. Now, he has a new reason to get off the streets.
Little baby Lena. Little sleepyhead. Hey, wake up.
Kevin is spending the day here at baby Lena's great-grandmother's house, where Lena and Kevin's girlfriend, Tawanda, live.
I'm waiting for her grandmother to get home from work.
Tawanda's grandmother works here on Capitol Hill. Her name is Dorothy Watson. She's been serving Congress members and their staff in the cafeteria for years.
You know, I'm just trying to have a better relationship with the grandmother since I can't have a better relationship with the rest of the family members. You know, I need some type of relationship with somebody's family. I need a family because I don't got a family myself.
I'm a dessert lady. I make all the dessert.
Dorothy's service job on the Capitol is only a couple of miles from her home in the other Washington. On Dorothy's side of town, over a third live in poverty. While Kevin waits for Dorothy to get home, he takes care of his new baby. Growing up on the street, he had to learn to act tough to survive. Now, without the help of parents or trustworthy friends, he's trying to learn how to make the leap from childhood to fatherhood.
And it's all about her right now, because she's in this world. Ain't nobody asked her to come here. I brung her here. You know what I'm saying? I brung her into this world. I wish I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't want her to live this life.
On Kevin's side of Washington, it's hard to avoid this kind of life. Just outside Dorothy's door is a 24-hour, open-air, crack cocaine market.
Well, the dudes behind me, what they doing right now is they're hungry for money. I say they selling coke or whatever.
It's like, man, how come y'all be selling and doing that? Like, man, we got families to feed. That's all he said. We got families to feed.
If Tawanda's grandmother, Dorothy, lets Kevin stay at her house, he'll be able to spend less time looking for places to sleep and more time looking for work. He's planning to ask Dorothy if he can sleep in her basement, and he wishes he could offer to help pay the rent. He knows his relationship with Tawanda alone isn't enough.
Baby mama.
You heard her. You missed the she was talking.
Little daughter.
Ooh,
Bless you. I got you. I got that smile, baby.
Y'all just up here just taking pictures as well.
Lena's more than Kevin's baby. She's his only connection to a real family. But Dorothy has a different idea of what family means. Kevin may be the father of her great-grandchild, but until he gets a job of his own, he's just another mouth to feed.
He got to get a job, because somebody gonna help pay some kind of bills and stuff. Because ain't nobody giving me nothing. Nothing at all. He's, but 17, seems like me, he can be able to get some kind of job. He's 17 years old.
So Kevin has to leave. The only place Kevin knows he can find somewhere to sleep is in a part of Washington, D.C. called Anacostia. It's cut off from the rest of the city by the Anacostia River. It's the poorest, most dangerous part of the city.
Anacostia is so neglected that even though it's a part of Washington, D.C., they often don't even bother to include it on the road maps. I picked this one up on the way over here. Here's the U.S. Capitol, which I can see behind me just across the Anacostia River, which is here. And this is where Anacostia should be.
Somewhere, off the map, Kevin has found a place to sleep by breaking into a vacant apartment near his church.
The blinds was all the way up, and I just peeked, and I was like, ain't nobody in there. So I went to go see if the door was open, and the door was open. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna use this now.
All Kevin has is empty space. He says the toughest part is the solitude, wanting for something or someone to distract him from the loneliness of the night.
Every night I'm in here, it's like I need somebody to talk to. If I don't got nobody to talk to, I might just sit and cry myself to sleep. Because it's like so much that I want to do, but I can't do it because I need help doing it, and I have nobody to help me, you know what I'm saying? I seen a dude across that building right there. I saw his whole leg get bust, get shot. I mean, I just seen his whole leg, from right here on down, get shot by a 12 gauge. I was sitting right here just looking.
In this neighborhood, it's impossible to hide from violence. In the past 5 years, there were more than 600 murders in Anacostia. That's 1 out of every 200 people. Will Sledge knows how tough it is to survive on the street. 5 years ago, he was just like Kevin, a homeless teenage father fighting to survive. Now, in the basement of the Temple of Praise Church, he's putting his fighting skills to a different use.
Each one, teach one. Teach one. Good. Underbelts, grab the mats. I met Kevin when he was around 14 years old. It's frustrating at times. And when you see somebody that you care about run into a brick wall, what you do is you'll be that cushion in front of that brick wall to try to stop them. And a lot of times you can't be that cushion. You have to let them smack themselves in the wall, but you have to be there to bandage them up when they're bruising. So I have to be his Band-Aid versus his cushion. I mean, we had the same talk every time I see you.
Right.
Don't nothing change but your clothes. Why you can't look at me when you talking to me?
Cause
I'm looking at your hat.
I don't know, I always look down.
Little boys look down.
I mean, I ain't a little boy.
All right, well, look at me then.
You can come out of Southeast Washington, D.C., and I get so sick and tired of what folk have to say about people in Southeast Washington, D.C. It makes me sick.
After the break, we meet a former mayor of Washington, D.C. who was vilified for drug abuse, but who now leads a very different life and attends the same church as Kevin.